Welcome back to the case for discipleship part number 20. Now, when we say discipleship, I think what comes to the minds of most people is imagining like a good new convert class or new believers class or church membership class, or better yet, like a Assemblies of God Sunday school, right? Or maybe a vacation Bible school or a good Wednesday Bible class. Now, discipleship is more than that, definitely, but those are really good. But the word that is attached to the command is what makes it important. Jesus said, go and make disciples. In other words, you have to take this believer and make them into something else, right? So it's a making. It's not just informing, it's making them, right? And so let's talk about what it means to make a disciple, right? So once a child of God is born, he has like a lot of things that are already in the person, because to be a Christian is not a behavior modification. To be a Christian means that you have been regenerated, right? Things have become new on the inside of you. And so it takes both what is happening on the inside of the child of God and what we bring on the outside to make them. Do you understand that? And so we have to understand that. So let's talk about how the price of making is done. And it is the same as how you make a good child. It's the same as how you make you train up your child, right? It is impossible. I don't know, you can prove me wrong, but it is impossible for a child to turn out good if the child is not corrected, if the child is not advised, if the child is not accountable. You see that? That's the same way as it is in the natural, so it is in the spiritual, right? And so we are not saying that it is through discipleship that a person become holy, because the seed is already in them. Right? As it is in farming, so it is in parenting. It's not the farmer that makes the seed become a tree. But if the farmer doesn't do what the farmer has to do, the tree will not happen. So there's a part that the church plays for a Christian to talk like his father. Right? And so let me throw some things out there for you to understand. So definitely the knowledge of the word of God is important for the child of God to experience. But when they became a child of God, there was embedded in the same child a lot of giftings. And again, it's just like the natural. Every child has talents and gift. In the same way, every born again Christian has a lot of spiritual talents and gift that it has to come out. Paul said that when we lay our hands on you, don't neglect them. So in discipleship, you help the person to begin to build up their faith so that all the giftings in them. If you see a prophet, if you see a gospel musician, if you see anybody who is shining their gift, it was in them when they got born again. It's just a matter of like watering it and kind of like exalting the person to kind of come on, bring it up. You can do it. In the same way, when it comes to our character, there's a seed of righteousness. As Paul says, I see another member. The flesh is very strong, but in the same way as we disciple ourselves, then the spirit begin to grow and overcome the flesh. So these three areas, the knowledge of the word of God that we teach ourselves and we learn, and we begin to ask questions and the teachers explain to us, and then we begin to also yield to spiritual discipline so that all the good things in us will begin to shine forth, and then the giftings he has given us we begin to show forth. And then lastly, our nature. God says be holy because I'm holy. So it's a seed of righteousness that comes upon the person when they become born again, and in discipleship you help that seed come out. If you know any Christian who is living in sin, they are living below their identity. They have what it takes to stop smoking. They have what it takes to stop sleeping around. They have what it takes to stop all the sinful things they are doing, because there's a new seed in them. Should they give it the chance to grow, it will grow. It's all about renew your mind. I'm going to be getting into big trouble. Every homosexual can change if you become a Christian, because it's all about renewing your mind. It's all about renewing your mind. When you renew your mind, you accept the fact that there is a seed of righteousness in me, and I can become what Bible says I can become. The problem we have is that we are settling for the natural nature of us, and we want people to accommodate us when we are being asked to rise to a higher calling. So I want to beg all of you, let's put our personal needs aside for only 43 minutes and ask the question, what is the sin that is easily besetting you? Can we work on that for you? And if we ask those important questions, we will see that we will be transformed. And I'm telling you, if we transform our character even 2 degrees, 80% of our current problem will go away. Let me say it again. If we transform our character, even if we turn it 2 degrees into a good side, 80% of your problems will go away. The problem of humanity is our Adamic nature. And in any program that is moving you from Adam to Jesus is a priority. Jesus said, seek this thing first, and you will see how things will be added unto you. Life cannot deny a holy man is food. Do you hear that? All right, we'll continue tomorrow.